FideMaster Johnny Curtis from the central coast of New South Wales in Australia, 1 hour north of Sydney in the edge of the Arimba rainforest. Hey, what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you this game between National Master Setnee 007, rated 2,280 from the United States, and Moi, the magician, named after Mikhail Tal. Anyway, here we go. We'll get straight into it. This game is full of errors, but it's full of purpose too. And I'll show you the ideas behind the purpose, and we'll discuss those as we go along. So we go from an attacking game to a defensive game to an even game, and then to a brilliant little winning trap. Okay, e4, e6. But mind you, remember this is a 5-minute chess game played by National Master Setnee. d4, d5. So we're playing the French Defense-Rubinstein Blackburn variation. Knight takes, knight d7. All book moves, as you can see by the little book indicator next to the pieces. Yeah, so pawn takes pawn is normal here, but I just remembered in the back of my mind somewhere that there was some variation where you could let them take the pawn on d4, not even recapture it, but just build your pieces and aim them all at the black king and make them sweat, right? Engine's saying knight e5, but that's my plan anyway, to put the knight in on e5. There it goes. And so really, there's no real way to get in there to the black king at the moment. But we're hopeful. We're hopeful. Our plan is just to play queen e2, maybe a3, stopping these little distraction attack moves along this diagonal. There's little attack moves there that we sense could cause a bit of problems. We don't want to have to play rook to e2 to block, which would block our queen from going over that way, you see. Anyway, so he plays this move, a weakening move. He just thinks he can throw all his pieces at me. Well, he's kidding, isn't he? He's playing a decent player. I mean, I know what I'm doing. So he might be 2280, I might be 2175 on the board here. But I've got the knowledge. I'm the FM, I'm the FideMaster. He's only a National Master. FideMaster, a lot of people ask me this question, but a FideMaster is much stronger than a National Master, usually. Not always, because some of these National Masters up-and-coming players, up-and-coming good players. But when he plays a move like g5, weakening all these squares, have a look at all these holes in the position. See all these holes in front of the king? And look at this lovely diagonal there, right? And white's got the minor pieces worth 3 points each, and white's got nine points there, and the rook gets 5. 9, 5 is 14, and the queen throwing over is another 9. 23 points being thrown over towards the king, and at the moment there's 13, 16 points defending it. Is that right? So in this box here, you can count 16 points of defense. In this box here, you can count 23 points of attack. And we'll see what happens. So he played knight d5. Well, that removes one of the pieces from this little king box, doesn't it? Right? See that little box? It removes one of the pieces. Now here I missed a very clear win. My instincts told me that queen h5 is a killer. And then he played king g7, which is a losing move. And Duffer Dog here, the Duffer Dog, I'm looking at knight takes pawn and queen checks and all those little attacks, and I forgot the bleeding obvious, like knight here. Okay, that's the obvious move, right? Threatening queen takes pawn check. And then if he holds it, right, I'll show you. If I put a knight here, the only defense to queen takes pawn check and a mating attack is rook here. But then I come in with this dirty big bishop check. And that's the end of him. For if he plays f6, I've got queen g6 check, right? It's just too powerful. Too powerful, far too powerful. So I should have wrapped this game up really, really quickly, but being the duffer dog that I am, I didn't play knight to g4. I played a3. Yeah, me, one of the greatest attacking players in human history. No, I'm only kidding, right? Yeah, but a3 is a disgrace. It's a chess disgrace. As one of the Russian grandmasters once said, if you play a move like this in Russia, they send you to Siberia. Yeah, that's right. That's what he said. And I believed him too. So I'm glad I'm not in Russia, in the old USSR. Anyway, but now he's got this defence. He's got the knight going back to f6, and he chased me out. So I've got to work out a new way now to attack his king. So I play f4. The engine told him he had to play knight to d5 to stop this move. But the whole idea is I want to open up his king. So he plays bishop b7. And I think, well, great. I'm going to open that king up at all costs. Everything I can. I'm throwing at that king. And the engine agrees with me. So he played queen d5. And the engine says, good move, buddy. So I took the pawn off. Apparently it wasn't as good as queen to d2. Queen to d2 was a bottler. And probably the winning move, and it was all over. Anyway, he played knight forwards. And I thought, well, what's he doing there? And was in this position. I played bishop takes knight. But I should play queen to rook 5. And I missed the check. Oh, I think, God, how many times do I want to give him a chance to win? So I thought, well, I'll put my bishop in, star move, leave my queen on, do what the engine tells me to do, got a star move for the best move. I took the pawn. I should take with the pawn. Yeah, I should take with the pawn because I'll give him a tempo to hit me with a rook. And I played queen there. That was a bad move. I should take his bishop, apparently, because I'm attacking his queen. I'm attacking his queen, so I should take his bishop. Do you think I saw that? No. And I played king f7. I recaptured there. He gave me a check, a whopping big check. So I went back there, star move. And he took the bishop. He should play queen c5 check. You know, like belt me around a little bit. Anyway, I took with the rook. I thought he should play queen c5 check. Yeah, that was a good check. Because my king can't go on the H file because of the rook check. Anyway, I looked at it closely and I thought, oh, I better play rook there. At least this way I can change queens, right? And I assessed, and probably correctly so, that my position's lost. I think it's lost. Oh, no, it says white's got the advantage after rook there. The engine says so. So he played rook there. Now white's got a real advantage. So I gave him a check. Wrong move. Rook h4 was better. I seem to keep trying to find the hardest way to... Now, I played rook there. The reason being is I thought he's a patzer, a beginner, a rabbit, a bunny, a schlabotnik. I thought he was all these things. And I thought, watching his previous play, he's going to play a5, which I just wanted the time for him to make a weakness, right? Anyway, what does he play? a5. Yeah, he could have defended his king. I played rook checks, and he goes up there. So I played rook to the 7th rank. Put your rooks on the 7th rank. And I thought to myself, hey, this looks good. I can see a checkmate here. I saw a checkmate with rook f3, and rook here is checkmate. So, mind you, I've only got 46 seconds on my clock. He's got 2 minutes and 20 seconds to defend himself. But do you think he can find the right move? No, that was the right move. So he could challenge the checkmating rook. Anyway, does Duffer Dog play the right move? Do I play the right move? King there, I missed the win. I should play king f2, threatening a check. And I find the longest possible way to do it. Anyway, he plays rook there. He could have stopped me by playing rook to c8. And so I played rook to h1. That was my plan. So my plan was 2 moves longer than what his plan was. Then he finally brings a rook up to defend his king. But bingo, it's too late. It's too late, buddy. He puts his rook in and rook takes rook checkmate. Well, I hope you enjoy that game. That not so crushing but interesting game between National Master Setnee of the United States, rated 2280, and myself. And that was played only minutes ago on chess.com on the Blitz Arena, the 5-minute games. And as we can see, we'll go into the report card. And the report card gives me an 89% success accuracy rate and gives my opponent 33.9%. I had 18 best moves according to the engine. He only had 10. I have 4 excellent moves. He had 5. I had 1 good move. He had 2. And he had 7 book moves and I had 7. So we're about the same there. He had 2 inaccuracies and I had 1. He had 5 mistakes and I had 1. He had 4 blunders, I had 2. And finally, he had no missed wins. In other words, he was never winning. And I had 3 winning moves. And apparently I found them. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that game. And I'll be back shortly with more video content for you. But thank you once again, and if you like my videos, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Okay, I need those subscribers. It's free to subscribe on YouTube, and you can then receive notifications of further videos. And I hope to bring you some really interesting content shortly.